Good morning, students. So today we are starting with the new chapter, which is from the subject civics, and this is lecture 1 of chapter number 3, democracy and diversity, class 10, subject civics. So today we are starting with a new chapter, and the name of this chapter is democracy and diversity. So here the two terminologies that have been given to you are democracy and diversity. So you all know the meaning of democracy here, that is the system of government that worked for the whole population of a particular country, which is eligible members of a state, and typically through some elected representation. Basically it works for the power of for the people, by the people and of the people. Now the second terminology here is diversity. So how does power can be distributed to accumulate diversity amongst people? So we are going to discuss that in this particular chapter, and the topics that we are going to cover in this lecture will be, I am going to give you a quick introduction about the chapter. So what does this chapter carries? What is the proper introduction? Then we will talk about a story of Mexico Olympics that stated diversity amongst people in as a whole. Then we will talk about some types of differences here, similarities and divisions, and then the homework solution that I have given you in the previous chapter, and the homework that I am going to assign you in this particular chapter. So there is not much long thing that we are going to cover today, just a small introduction part and with few of the examples. So can we start with the lecture now? Great. Energize yourself, boost up yourself, so that you should be very attentive to listen to whatever I am saying, so that you can understand. It's very major thing is you should understand each and every topic that we are going to discuss here. So first of all, I am just want to introduce you about the chapter, what it is all about. So many a times people identify themselves and relate with others on the basis of their physical appearance, class, religion, gender, caste, tribe, etc. And many times they are discriminated rationally on the basis of these factors. So basically you have all seen around yourself also that India is one of the major examples of diversity. So at times we identify people according to their religion. Basically India is one of the major problem here, that we identify people on the basis of their religion. See, this person is Muslim, we are not going to talk to him, he's from this background, he's from OBC, he's from lower caste, we are not going to talk to them. Apparently we differentiate them on their physical appearance as well. How? Because if they are good looking, they are rich, we are going to talk to them. If they are not coming into our standard, we are not going to talk to them. So there is certain differences that come up from our mentality or from where we belong. So it all occurs from the education we are getting in. So sometimes we people identify different people according to their physical appearance, class, religion, gender, caste, tribe, etc. So all these differences come under when we talk to some people and when we relate to these people. And many times they are discriminated rationally on the basis of these factors. And many a times when we go to acquire some job or we want to study somewhere, some discrimination occurs in those places also on the basis of these factors that I have talked about. And today what I present in front of you today is about talks of how democracy responds to all these social differences, divisions and equality. So today we will talk about how these factors, how this discrimination can affect the democracy of a country, and how can it create social differences, divisions and equality amongst people. So this is all about this chapter that we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. So first example that has been given to you, and it is quite famous also because it is from this story is from a Mexico Olympics. So there was Mexico Olympics that have been held in year 1968, and the picture that have been shown to you in this particular slide, this picture on this page depicts the importance of landmark on the history of the civil rights movement in the United States. So what does the civil rights movement in USA state, we'll discuss later, and it is given in your book also if you want to read what does that mean. So that movement was the very epic movement in the entire sports community that time, because the two members of this who was basically the winner, they were provoked to be in the cast of this discrimination from their own land, and they want to stand up for themselves to show them that they are highly discriminated and they want justice for themselves, even though they have won it, but they were not in a state to represent themselves that yes, we are facing a lot of things. So I will let you know what does this actually mean. So this was the entire picture. Just I want to show you that these two members who were the black persons here, these black Americans were facing a lot of problems just because of few of the discrimination that was held in here. So they were running for a 200-meter race, and the one who is on the top, who came first, was Tommy Smith, and the second who came was John Carlos. So these two were the one who have faced discrimination in their life, and they were actually bowing their head and raising their hand to show the white and black problem here. So there was racism there was black and white problem that was going on. So they were showing that here. So the two men standing with the clenched fist with them, upraised and heads bowed while the American nation anthem was played, are the US athletes. So they were in the this US athletes were showing the problem of white and black, which was going on from years back, and still there. The problem of white and black is still there in America, and it can't be abolished in any way. But the first time it was being broadcast and it has been seen nationally because of this. Olympics was a big thing. Olympics is an international game from where these two men who have won the race, they actually won the race, they come first and second, and they are showing this showing the reality of their own nation, that what they are facing. They were they actually who were wearing these gold medals, they have upraised their hand and then they have head bowed, and they have showed that even though we have won, but we are not in a state that we can raise our head and show our face to these people because of this discrimination and racism which is going on in our nation, the white and black problem which is going on from a long time. And what they have done, actually they have basically the two names of these two athletes was Tommy Smith, who had the gold medal, who came first, and second was John Carlos, who has the bronze medal. They are African Americans. So they were the African Americans, and the discrimination started from here only. So if you are in America and you are African American, so they are casted into black community, and all those who are the US community, they were standing for the white Americans. So the difference here is that these African Americans were so-called be treated as the black Americans, term used to refer mainly to descendants of Africans who were brought into America as slaves between 17th century. So basically it started from the ruling time that these African Americans, who are also named there as black Americans, term used to refer mainly to descendants of Africa who were brought into America as slaves between 17th century. So there were many Africans who came to America. They were brought to America to become slaves of these Americans in the 17th century, to work under them and to do their household work and do the slavery of these white Americans here. So the discrimination has started from a very long time, and it was not abolished for a very long time there. So they received the medals wearing black socks and no shoes to represent black poverty. So what they have done to show and represent that they were facing this problem, they received the medal, but they were without the shoes. They were not wearing their own shoes. They were wearing the black socks here to represent the black poverty. So they were showing the black poverty. The black poverty is here is that all the racism and discrimination they were facing in that particular time also. Still they are winning the Olympics for their nation. They are winning the national sports event for them. Still they are facing this discrimination and racism. So they want to show it to the people that still if we are winning a lot of things, we are still not winning our own identity here. So they were representing the black poverty which they are facing from a very long time. And the black gloved and raised clenched fist were meant to symbolize the black power. So to show the one thing that another thing that they have done here is the black gloved and raised their clenched fist, which meant to symbolize the black power. So they want to show the black power. So they were representing that even though you have not given us the major rights, even though you have discriminated us, you have racism, but still we have won this. And they want to show the power of black there in that particular gesture. So with this gesture they try to draw international attention to racial discrimination in the United States. So basically what they were doing with these gestures, they want to show they want to have that international attention, so that the people around the world should see the racial discrimination which is going on in the United States, and they want to abolish that in somehow or the other. So they were representing all these things so that this racial discrimination should be abolished from United States. So the Black Power movement emerged in 1966 and lasted till 1975, which was the most militant and racist movement in USA. So basically this movement had advocated even violence because it was necessary at a time and to end racism in US. So this power was a very big movement in US in 1966 and it lasted till 1975. There were violence also between white and the black people. There was and which is one of the most militant and rational movement which come across in US from a very long time. So basically to abolish a lot of things you need to do a lot of efforts also. So that was the effort that was coming up from this example. These two men that stood up for their own community so that they should abolish this social discrimination which was going on in their state. So there's 2-3 questions that have been given to you in your textbook also. That do you think that Carlo and Smith should have raised an internal matter of American society in an international form? So first of all they have asked here that do you think that Carlos and Smith should have raised an internal matter of American society in an international form? Why they have done it? They could have solved it in their own nation, but they took an international platform to represent that matter if they were correct or they were not correct. So you can discuss that also in your own terminology. Now would you say that what they did was political? So can you say that their act was political or not? Can we say that? I don't think so that was political. Basically the person who is facing the problems here, he only knows that what kind of discrimination is there, and if the law that basically they were the immigrant persons, they were the who have brought to a particular nation, how the white person is going to help them either. So this was not political in my perspective. Then why do you think Peter Norman, who was neither black nor American, joined the gesture of protest? So here was one American person also who came second year. He was also helped them to basically he also joined their gestures. He was also not wearing any shoes there. He was also there wearing a jacket. He was also there to help them out with this thing. And the last question here, they have said that if you were in Norman's place, what would you do? So obviously, if you want an equality in a particular nation, you want peace in a nation, he was working for that only. He don't wanted that black and white problem should be there, and he wanted to abolish that. He was supporting that nation. So obviously, if I was in his position, I would do the same thing. I will stand for those people who are facing this discrimination. That's the morality. That's the only thing we could do for these kind of people. So after that, all these things had happened. This white Australian athlete Peter Norman, who wore a human right baggage. So here, what the Norman has done, Peter Norman has done, he has wore a human right badge on his shirt during the ceremony to show his support for the two American athletes. So here he has shown his support. How he has shown his support? He has wore a human right badge on his shirt during the ceremony to show his support for these two American athletes there. And this act was a really famous act because after that the International Community Association has held the Carlos and Smith guilty of violating the Olympic spirit by making a political statement here. So they have taken away their medals and they have taken this particular act as violence for the Olympic spirit of making that a political statement. That is shown here also, that the International Olympic Association had held Carlos and Smith guilty of violating the spirit of Olympic by making political statements. So they have taken away their medals, they have abolished them from this sports society, and they have even taken the medal of Norman also because he has supported them. So their medals were taken back, and Norman also suffered a lot of criticism because he was not included in the Australian team for the next Olympics there. Because in Australia also they were white, they were in the majority of the white nation there. So Norman also suffered a lot of criticism because of this situation that was going on, and he was not included in the Australian team after the next Olympics that was held. So standing up for themselves have caused a lot of things to them. Their medals were taken away. The International Olympic Association have held that Carlos and Smith were guilty, and they have to pay a lot of things because their unity, the unity they want to show of their particular thing that was going on there, they want to abolish that, but it was not happening because the society was not ready to accept these things. So now we are going to talk about the differences, similarities and division here. So as there certainly the types of social differences are there. As you have all seen in the previous example that I have given you, there were two communities. The first is white and black community. So the difference came all together. So the types of social differences, the origin of the social differences comes either from their birth or by their choice. So there can be two things from how these differences can occur. So the origin of the social differences can mostly based on the accident of birth, we call call it as by birth. So obviously if a person is being born in a particular society or in a particular state or a nation, if he is black, obviously in a black community he is being born, so obviously it is an accident of birth. It is not by his own choice that he is doing these things. Obviously this is by accident of birth, and we should respect that. We can't change the fact that he was born in that particular society or born in a particular nation. It's not his fault. The people around us are male or female, they are tall or and short, having different physical abilities or disabilities. So basically all the differences can occur in two of the terminologies we seen, that a person can be male or a female or transgender or anything else. So the difference is there. Then if we talk about the height of the people, some are tall, some are short, some are mid-height. So there is difference in that also. Then having difference in physical abilities. So some may look differently, some may look disabled. So the differences come here also. We have taken example from Sri Lanka and Belgium. So Sri Lanka and Belgium also, if we talk about Sri Lankan people, they are black, they come under the black community there. They have their own religions. Then in Belgium also they have their own community, diversity is majorly there. So for all the differences that are coming up in a way, that could be one of the reason to give a particular major power to that particular person who is fair, who is tall, who is male, because here the male have given a majority power from a long period of time. So all these differences by their birth can identify the power of democracy. I really don't think so, and it should not be there, but it is there in our nation, in our society, and it is still building up. Now some differences are based on our choices as well. So when we talk about the accident of birth, it is talking about caste, gender and etc. But when we talk about choice, it is following some being in one religion and you are following some other religion. That is your own choice that you want to change. See, if you are Punjabi and you want to change it to a Brahmin, there is no difference here, but it is your choice that you want to be that person. So some differences are based on our choices as well. Some people don't believe in God or any religion. So there are majority of people here that believe in God, but many of them don't believe in God at all. They don't believe in any sort of religion. But some people choose to follow a particular religion other than the one in which they were born. So like if I see that I am a Punjabi, so I should go to Gurudwara because that's my religion. But no, I want to go to Masjid. That's my choice. I want to go there, I want to worship that God. So that's my choice. No one can ask me and say me why you are going there. So if some differences are based on their choices as well. Some people choose to follow a particular religion other than the one which they were born. So it is their choice. We can't say anything. If a person like marriage is also now happening, like a male is marrying a male, a girl is marrying a girl. So it is their choice. We are no one to say that you are a boy, you should marry to a girl only. So these differences have been came here, and we should respect those choices. We should not criticize them, we should respect the choices of people here. Now most of us choose what to study, which occupation to take up. So here, like we are the one, if you are in class 10th here and in 11th, mostly people want to choose medical or non-med, commerce. So that is your particular choice. You are not forced to take this only. Mostly in Indian society we do, but it's your choice also that you want to be in commerce or in non-med or in medical. So that is your own choice what you want to study, which occupation you want to take, that is your own will. So after 10, it's the major thing come occur when you have to take up a particular field, and all these lead to the formation of social groups that are based on our choices. So whatever we are choosing for ourselves, that is only leading to the formation of social groups that are based on our own choices here. Every social difference does not lead to social division here. So one more thing that comes under that, if a lot of things that is coming up, that will never lead to social division. Like if few people are following few things, so like I am here, I want to choose commerce, that person, one of my friend is choosing non-med, so that is their particular choice, that can relate to your friendship, that can create a division in your friendship. I really don't think that should create a division, that he's following his own passion, you are following your own passion, your friendship is still there. So there is certainly no social division that is coming between you if you are following different things. So people belonging to different social groups share differences and similarities cutting across the boundaries. So you are going to some different social groups, but that doesn't mean that it is going to create differences, or it is going to cut similarities between you both. It is going to be similar if you have a strong bond with each other. So that is what I just want to give you example of your own related things. That's your friendship. If you are friend with one person and you want to take commerce and the other person want to take non-med, so the social groups that have been followed after when you pass out this class will be different, but that is not going to create any sort of differences and cutting the similarities across the boundaries from your own friendship. It is going to be strong if the friendship is strong, so it is not going to create any differences there. So every social difference does not lead to social division. So that's all as the chapter that I want to sorry, not the chapter, only about this lecture that we'll discuss. Sorry, one more example was here, that was Carlos and Smith were similar in one way, both are African Americans, but were both the Norman was white, and they were all athletes who stood against the racial discrimination. So one more thing that I want to tell, now that Carlos and Smith were similar in one way because they were African Americans, but what about the Norman who was white here? He was not black, he was not belonging to that black community, but what has actually contributed to them, what was the similar thing which was between them, that was they were athletes, they were following the same social group, that was athlete, who stood against the racial discrimination there. So it is about the certain similarities that we are going to discuss in the next lecture. Now we are going to discuss about the homework solution here. So question number 1, explain any two consequences of changing crop pattern due to irrigation. So that was the first assignment question that I have given you. So you have to tell two consequences of changing crop pattern due to irrigation. So first here it is given, irrigation has changed the cropping pattern of many regions, with farmers shifting to the cultivation of water intensive and commercial crops. So it has been shifting from water intensive to commercial crops. This has great ecological consequences. It leads to waterlogging and consequent salinization of the soil. Then this is the negative effect of irrigation, as rich farmers have better access to irrigation. They have earned more money due to the production of commercial crops. Then on the other hand, the landless poor who could not avail of its benefits has become poorer, and thus the irrigation has transformed the social landscape by increasing the social gap between rich landowners and the landless poor families. Second question was about describe the procedure for rooftop rainwater harvesting. So in rooftop harvesting, the poor become the catchment here. The roof become the catchment here, and the rainwater is collected from the roof of the house or the building, and it can either be stored in a tank or diverted to artificial recharges system. When water comes through pipe from roof, before storing water, it is filtered by filter paper, then that is situated in the pipe or at the hole of tank. We can use this water, but it is not used for drinking purpose. Now question number 3, explain any 3 reasons due to which large dams have come under great opposition in recent years. So the answer is there are many ecological reasons for this. Some of them are the building of dams require a large amount of forest covers to be cut down, as the dam required a large base on ground for the flow of water. Then the people living around the area needs to be dispatched. Third, the wildlife and aquatic life get affected, as the water behind the dam is still it allowed growth for microorganisms and which distributes the pH of water. Now question 4, examine the ill effects of industrialization and urbanization on water resources. So industrialization and urbanization are two things that go hand in hand. Due to increase in population and growth of manufacturing industries, there has been exploitation and over usage of the water resources in the following manners. So the first, the need of energy. So due to the increasing number of factories and growing population, there has been a boom in the demand of energy. As we know that 22% of India's electricity generation is through hydel power, which cause the need for dams, the multipurpose river projects, and the construction of dams causes various problems such as rehabilitation of people, destruction of the biodiversity, bad effect on fish breeding, induction of floods, and etc. Second, water pollution. The release of insoluble and untreated sewage in water which makes it contaminated is known as water pollution, and thus the industries release the industrial waste and effluents which make the water unfit for us to drink and unsuitable for the aquatic life to live in. Also due to growing population, there are more number of domestic activities like bathing, washing clothes, and submerge of idols during festivals which happen polluting the water. Now question 5, water resources are depleting fast in India and water is a necessity for life. Suggest 3 measures to conserve water. So first, in agriculture, techniques like drip irrigation and mulching help to use irrigation water more efficiently and to avoid sewage. One way. Second way, rainwater harvesting and creation of water storage structures like recharge pit in a building can help in water conservation. Third, for washing and cleaning purpose use, only the required amount of water is needed. Question number 6, why is rooftop rainwater harvesting important in Rajasthan? Explain. So rooftop water harvesting is important in Rajasthan because it was commonly practiced to store drinking water. Second, the rainwater can be stored in the tankas till the next rainfall, making it an extremely reliable source of drinking water when all other sources are dried up, particularly in the summers. Third, rainwater or Palar Pani, as commonly referred to these parts, is considered the purest form of natural water. And fourth, many houses construct underground rooms adjoining the tanka to beat the summer heat, as it would keep the room cool. Fifth, some houses still maintain the tanks since they do not like the taste of top water. So this is whole as the assignment solution. Now the homework that I want to give you is in your book also on page number 31. There is a situation that is given, let us debate. So that is your homework. Basically it tells about one situation and you have to tell which of these three opinions do you agree with most and why. So it's just a rough thing that you have to do. You don't have to do it in your notebook. We are just discussing about this situation. So it is about some Dalit groups decided to participate in the UN Conference Against Racism in Durban in 2001. They demanded the conclusion of caste in the agenda of this conference. Here are three reactions to this move. So basically it is saying about one situation. There were some Dalit groups. They have decided to participate in a UN conference which was against this racism. So they were demanding the inclusion of caste in the agenda of this conference. So the three reactions that have been given there was, here are the three reactions. Amandeep Kaur, a government official, our constitution declares caste discrimination to be illegal. If some caste discrimination continues, it is an internal matter and I am opposed to this being raised to an international forum. So she has given her opinion in reaction to this, that our constitution declares that caste discrimination is very illegal here, and I am not in a support of it. If some caste discrimination continues here, it is an internal matter and I am not going to be a part of it, and I am opposing to this being raised in an international forum. Second opinion was by Oinam. He was a socialist. He was, I am opposed to this because caste and race are not similar divisions. So he is saying that I am opposing this because of caste and race are not from similar divisions, and caste is a social division while race is a biological one. So raising caste in this conference on racism would mean equalating the two. So he is opposing the differences here. So like I have given example here about by birth and by choice, the thing is here. So if the person is by birth is this only, you have to deal with that problem alone only. So you can't change that thing in your mentality. The third was a Dalit activist. He said that the argument about internal matters is a way of preventing open discussion of oppression and discrimination, and race is not purely biological. So race is not purely biological, it is much a legal and sociological category as caste, and caste discrimination must be raised in this conference. So he was in support of it. So if you want to state your opinion here, what opinion do you have? If you agree with any three of them, or you could have your own opinion as well, you can tell me as your homework about your opinion about this situation. What could be your opinion, on which opinion do you favor from all these three, and why you are supporting in any one of these things? That's your homework. You just want to have to discuss it and just write it down. What is basically your opinion? Just an activity we are doing here, nothing more. So thank you, and if you still have queries, you can ask in the comment section and on the student inquiry section. And many of you are still not doing your homework properly, so please do it. It's for your will only. We are doing a lot of things so that your studies should not be abolished in any way or the other. So please stay with us. It's for your benefit only. Please study, do your homework regularly and study hard, and please take care of yourself. That is very much needed. Take care of your health and your family as well. And that's all. Thank you so much, class.